Today, I'm going to be showing you guys all of my crested geckos. This includes all of my breeders, my growouts over the years, even down to the babes we've produced to even last week. My god, that is a lot of crested geckos. We are talking about 50 geckos into one video. So stick around, we are going to be showing off some amazing stuff, and let's kick this video off with our first stop, our breeders at Dakota Blue Exotics. Kicking this video off, I feel like it's only right to start off with the one of the geckos that started it all. This is Pebbles. She is a tiger Dalmatian that I've had for such a long time. This gecko is probably around the age of 7, 8 years old, something about that. Started breeding geckos back in about 2015, and this started with Pebbles and Zeno, some of our first tiger Dalmatians that really got this breeding project going to, well, what it is today. She's the girl that started it all. Well, not the best looking gal, you know, structure ain't good. Yeah, she has some dowel spots. A nice tiger, good yellow base. I can't think of very many things to say to you, girl. She is the one to start it all, and she will always have a special place in my heart. When Pebbles is done breeding over here, she will stay as a pet, and I'll have her for life because I would not be where I am without this little girl right here. About a year after we started breeding crested geckos from Zena and Pebbles, I really wanted to start expanding and start investing in this project, getting some better looking animals, bigger spots, and more of a different kind than just the tiger Dalmatians. That's where Cookie came in. Cookie was my first investment crested gecko that I ever bought. I bought her from Dragontown Reptiles years back as a sub-adult female. I then grew her out and started breeding her. Cookie has produced some of my best non-tiger Dalmatian we have had over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. The downside I will say about Cookie is, well, her structure, again, much like most people when they first start out, they're not really looking at structure, just looking at the spots. Her structure ain't great, and my god, is she put on a lot of weight. This is the point where I actually gave her the season off, and we've been putting on her a bit of a diet because I don't want her to be this chunky. This is just a behemoth of a gecko. Now, speaking of starting it all, I probably should have started with this guy. This is the dude that really started it all. This is gonna be Amo. Amo is around 10 years old at this point and was the second reptile I've ever owned, right after Rex, my bearded dragon, and the first crested gecko I've ever owned. This guy is amazing. Not in appearance, I mean, come on, he's like 10 years old. He doesn't fire up anymore. Great head structure. I mean, just take a look at that. That is some pristine A+ head structure. However, he is really special in the way that he is really what started it all. What started my passion for crested geckos and what really got this ball rolling. I like this dude. This dude is awesome. We will always have him till the day he dies, going on 10 years, and I hope plenty more. I mean, for a 10-year-old crested gecko, you can see how active this guy is. He's really moving along. Just an amazing little dude that started this whole thing. Now, moving on to these girls right here. This is really when Dakota Blue Exotics started to evolve. We've been doing dowels at this point for, as a hobby, 5, 6 years, something like that. That's why I decided to expand on some patterns. So we've got this beautiful tricolor pin gal and then this white wall gal. These girls are absolutely fantastic and have been doing great. They were paired to one of my lily white males that we'll talk about in just a little bit later, and have produced us a bunch of babies and a bunch of eggs so far. I believe we have 6 or 8 eggs from them and already some babies hatching that I will show off because they are very cool. Some beautiful little dies. I think I did good with these girls. I think both of these girls look really great. Decent head structure, beautiful patterning, nice high white, exactly what I was going for. These are just some really quality patterned crested geckos. Coming over to this side of the breeders enclosures, we've got this little girl right here. This is Phoenix. Please excuse her. She actually just laid a clutch of eggs yesterday. Now, Phoenix is actually one of my babies. I produced Phoenix. She was actually one of the first babies. I believe she actually is the first baby I ever hatched as Dakota Blue Exotics, which is very exciting. She looks absolutely phenomenal. We've hatched out some of her babies right now that are actually paired with Shank, my girlfriend's crested gecko breeder male, and we'll see what happens. Right now, they don't look the best, but I'm sure as time goes on, we'll take a look at them a little bit later. Those guys will look just as amazing as this girl right here. Right next to Phoenix is actually one of the newest geckos to add in our collection. This is just a yellow gal. I believe if I were looking at her, I would say she's like a yellow quad stripe, or just a yellow harlequin, something along those lines. The really interesting about this girl is actually she was paired with a visual yellow lily white, which is really cool. She has laid us 1 clutch of eggs so far. Fortunately, one of those eggs went bad, but we do have another one that's incubating right now that looks like it may pull through, so fingers crossed we can hit a yellow lily white. Be absolutely awesome. Right now we have a black lily white and a red based one, so getting a yellow based one would just be cool to like complete that collection. I mean, I guess I also do need the tangerine one, but one step at a time. Bottom line, a yellow lily white, really cool. Finally, the last female breeder that we are going to be talking about today is going to be Galaxy. Galaxy is another one of my geckos. She's a Xenotime spots animal, doing absolutely fantastic. She did produce us last year. We'll check out some of those phenomenal babies. She made some absolute rippers. However, this year she did look a little bit thin before the breeding season started, so I decided to give her the year off, try to fatten her up a little bit. As you can see, it's been doing great. She looks like she's at a great weight right now and is definitely ready to breed next season in 2024. Oh my god. I'm surprised that's the first time this has happened. Coming up, we just have the male breeders talking about. Now, while we are pretty light with male breeders at this point, we do have a bunch growing out that will be taking the places of some that we did either sell off or trade off earlier. But right now we've got Spice right here. Spice is our main Tiger Dalmatian breeder. While it doesn't look like much, I mean, great tiger stripe pattern. It does have some black spots, some red spots, a little bit of a funky little dude. It does produce some absolutely stunning babies I'm very excited about. So we decided to keep him around, not because of his visual appearance, but because what he's able to produce. Remember, when you are talking about Crested Gecko breeders, it is not just all about looks, because the end goal is to make sure that the babies look good so you can sell them. And by God, while this guy does not look absolutely amazing, he does produce some absolutely amazing things. But on, we have our lily white breeder male. This guy has always been a firecracker. My God, if he did not produce such amazing animals, I probably would not have him in my collection, because he is just absolutely crazy. Probably my craziest, most energetic gecko we have over here. But once again, produces some amazing babies, so I'm just gonna have to deal with his attitude in the meantime. And then coming on over here, we have the grow outs. Now, I've actually been finding that these little shoebox type, I think these are actually used, they're not shoe box, but they are boxes used for shoe collectors. They work really great for grow outs. I like them as an intermittent enclosure before they go into that full one. This one seems to be, obviously, this is bigger than a shoe box. It's a cool little enclosure I like using before they go in their adult ones. And we have quite a few grow out Crested Geckos in here, and I'm not really going to talk about every single one of them or every single bin that is in there. One of the ones I really do want to showcase is this girl right here. This is a pretty much completely red spot Dalmatian animal. Unfortunately, she's a red-based red spotted animal, which kind of sucks, but I guess is what it is. She's fired down most of the time, so you really get to see all these absolutely beautiful red spots. Really cool gecko. She is going to be a contender with a few geckos that we have over here in my red spot only thing. It's going to get some breeders going so we can eventually produce just simply red spotted Dalmatians. No black spots, just red spots only. That'll be really cool. She's a really great starter animal to get that project going. Hopefully in 2024 we can source out a great male to start this season off, and then we'll have a cool Crested Gecko. Of course, we do got to talk about this girl right here before talking about some of the younger babies. Unfortunately, in shed right now, or just getting out of a shed, this girl always seems to be in a shed when I want to talk about her. This is going to be my Bullseye Dalmatian female. And if you guys don't know about Bullseye, don't worry, I didn't know about Bullseye. If you guys remember that video, I thought this was a world's first, quote unquote. Bullseye is going to be a Dalmatian gecko that has a big red spot that it isn't outlined by a black spot. Kind of a niche thing. I don't see it that often, hence why I didn't think it existed until someone told me. Still a really cool gecko. She will also be a part of the red spotted project, because I do want to get some more red spots in her, and then fingers crossed some more bullseyes, because I think bullseyes are cool and I think they do need to become a little more popular. All right, getting down to the very end on this list. I mean, come on guys. There are about 30 Crested Geckos here. I'm not going to talk about each individual one. We talked about a lot of Crested Geckos today. Some really VIPs I want to talk about and give a little showcase of is going to be the red-based lily white, absolutely amazing female that is going to be paired to a very special male that we don't have here yet, but will have very soon. Some Galaxy babies that look absolutely mint, a really great combination of black and red spots that I really do enjoy. Really good ink blotting babies from Cookie, and then of course their new empty back and soft scale project from our Het empty back soft scale pair. Other than that, it's a lot of the same stuff, a lot of Dalmatians, a couple of patterns, and yeah, let's roll that montage and get into it. Whew, and what did I tell you guys? A lot of crested geckos. My god, this was a long video to make. To wrap this video up, I do just have a couple questions to ask you guys. Number one, of course crested geckos are just part of this New Caledonian army that I've seemed to encompass over the years. If you guys do want to see a more in-depth look on all of our New Caledonian geckos, that being our chihuahuas, our gargoyles, of course our leachianas, drop me a comment down below and I'll be sure to make that video for you. And of course, I do feel like I rushed on the baby crested geckos. I mean, come on, this is a long video and it would have been so long. Should we do an exclusive separate baby crested gecko video? Let me know in the comment section. Of course, boys and girls, if you guys have made it this far, if you don't mind pressing that little like button, subscribe button for me, it really helps out the channel and it helps me seeing that little subscriber number go up. I get some serotonin, very much appreciate it. As always, thank you so much for taking the time in your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.